Today we are again in engine room and I will show you how the engine crew is replacing one of the exhaust valves for one of the pistons of the main engine. I will show you exactly what is the procedure. I will explain to you a little bit. Maybe you are coming on board anytime soon, or maybe you are just curious and you want to see what is this all about. I will show you exactly, and I hope you will enjoy and you will stay for the whole video. So let's go! Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog about the seaman life. In today's episode I will take you in the engine room and I will show you how the engine crew is replacing one of the exhaust valves for one of the pistons of the main engine. The main engine is the heart of the vessel. Without this, there is nothing. You cannot move the vessel. I work as an electrical officer, and of course there is no job for me regarding this matter, but being part of the engine crew, that means I have to assist the guys. We are only 23 people on board, and that is not enough crew members to do everything on time. So any helping hand is welcomed, and I can always help the guys by operating the engine crane. We have a crane here in the engine room because, as you can imagine, we could not lift the piston for the main engine with our bare hands. And also the exhaust valve is very heavy, so I am the operator of the crane. I can lend a hand and give the guys some tools. I can bring them from the workshop and things like that, you know, just a helping hand. There is no electrical job for me, so I am assisting them however I can. Now the motorman is preparing some gaskets. The gaskets are very important. You can have leakage in the system, and you can have a drop in the pressure later on. So as you can imagine, it is very important to take the correct measurement. The job itself for changing the exhaust valve of the piston, it's not a difficult job, but it takes a lot of time because there are a lot of moving parts, a lot of screws, a lot of nuts, and you have to take care of them. This is the reason why you are seeing a lot of buckets. As you can see, the motorman now is preparing some bolts with molykote. That is a special compound for protecting the nuts from excessive heat, from corrosion and things like that. So like I was saying, you are seeing buckets all over the engine room and near the main engine, because in this particular job there are a lot of small parts, and you have to be very careful not to lose anything. You don't always have spare parts on board, and sometimes there are some special nuts and bolts. You cannot just take another one from another place. That is the reason why you have to take very good care of your spare parts. Now you see the guys are trying to assemble everything, and this is the reason why it takes such a long time. It takes about 6 hours to replace the exhaust valve. As you can see, there is not a lot of free space over there. No matter how small you are, if you have small hands or anything like that, it's still not enough to do this particular job. This particular ship is a chemical tanker of 25,000 deadweight, so it's not a small ship, but this is the design. This is a Japanese ship and this is how they designed it. So you need to take very good care of your hands not to get stuck in the small places over there. The chief engineer was supervising everything. He was coming here to take some photos because we have to send to the company once in a while for any major job that we are doing. We have to send photos like proof that we have actually done the job, and it's not only in the paperwork, you know. And I think I have said in my previous vlogs, whenever you are on board, you will see that they are using a special software that is monitoring the jobs that need to be done on board. The emergency jobs or cargo operation, of course, that is the priority, and we will do that anytime we have such things. But whenever there is no emergency or any cargo operation or things like that, discharging, loading cargo, we follow the software. All these softwares like PMS or Amos, they are all the same, they just have different maker. The software that we use on this company is called Amos, and in that software you have the jobs that you have to do after a particular time of running hours. So after they have checked on the program, on the software, this Amos that I was telling you earlier, chief engineer said that it is time to open one of the pistons of the main engine, and you have to replace the exhaust valve. Anyway, there was some problems over there. There was a little bit of leakage. It was leaking air, and of course since the running hours were already on this particular piston, they had to replace everything, the exhaust valve, clean the piston, and now they are putting nitrogen in the system and they are checking the temperature as well. And the fourth engineer that is operating the bottle is taking notes of the values, and then all these values he will give to the chief engineer. And they have to follow the procedure in the user manual, because this main engine is made by MAN, and every main engine is with his particular specification, and you have to follow the instruction from the maker. So they are checking that the pressure inside is according to the user manual from the maker of this particular main engine. They are checking in every cylinder, and then they will check on the main valve at the main engine. There is no need for me to show you the whole video, because like I said at the beginning, this particular job took about 6 hours, and it was late at night already. I think we worked until 10 p.m. because in the morning we had to departure from the port, and there was no time. As you can imagine, this job, since you have to open the main engine, this job can be done only in the port, not even in the anchorage. You are not allowed to take the main engine apart when you are in anchorage, because the port authority can call you at any time and tell you that you have to change position because another ship has priority, or they will call you in the port, or maybe you will have some storm and you have to start the main engine. There are many things that can happen, that can go wrong, and there is no excuse for not having a working main engine. This is jail time. The chief engineer and the captain will go to jail If something like that happens, this is a serious matter. So of course, any operation on the main engine will happen only in the port, inside the port, and with the approval of the port authority. So we had to finish this job tonight. We had to work late night, but we have finished it successfully, so there were no issues the next day. And of course we took a little bit more rest the next day. Instead of starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, we came down after coffee time. We came in the engine room, and after 10:30 we continued our job. Luckily there were no emergencies over the night, because when you are on board you work all the time. There is no free day, there is no free time. If there is an emergency at 2 o'clock in the morning, there is no excuse that you are tired or it's not your duty or anything like that. That is the reason why seafarers have a high salary, so to speak. We are very well paid because we are working non-stop. Of course, when there are no emergencies, we can relax, we can do some fishing and things like that. But for the moment, this is the vlog. If you are a cadet, I hope this was useful for you. And if you have nothing to do with this subject and you have never been on board, I hope at least it was interesting enough for you to watch the whole video. And of course, I wait for you in the comment section down below if you have additional questions. There was no reason for me to get into any particular technicalities because a lot of my viewers, from what I have noticed, have nothing to do with this subject. They don't go at sea, they are not seafarers. So I just want to show you an overview and just give you an idea of what is happening and what is the actual job of an engineer in engine room. If you enjoyed the vlog, don't forget to hit that like button, and maybe you want to subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. I will keep posting interesting stuff about the seafarer's life, what we do on board, sometimes interviews and so on. Thank you very much for your attention and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.